From Kern Government Television, welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting, originating from the County Administrative Center located at 1115 Truxtun Avenue, Bakersfield, California. Kern County's vision is to create and maintain a customer-centered county government designed to garner the confidence, support, and trust of the people we serve. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Good morning. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Board of Supervisors. Today is Tuesday, April 9th, 2019. Board to reconvene. The first item is roll call.
Supervisor Gleason.
Here.
Supervisor Scribner.
Here.
Supervisor Maggard.
Here.
Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez.
Next item is the salute to the flag. It'll be led this morning by Supervisor Mike Maggard. And please remain standing at the end of that for a moment of prayer, silence, or meditation, whichever you prefer.
Place your hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The next item is the consent agenda. All items listed with a CA or a C above the item number are considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. We can act on those all in one motion. If there's anyone here that would like to pull any of those items for separate consideration, a board member would have to do that. Mr. Fox, come on down. If there's anyone else that would like to pull any item for separate consideration or make a comment about any of these items, now would be the time to do that. Is there anyone here that would like to, let me tell you what's on the consent calendar first. Mr. Fox already knows. Consent calendar starts on page 2, consists of items 1 through 3, and items 8 and 9, continues to page 3, items 12 through 18, page 4, all the items 19 through 26, page 5, all the items 27 through 34, page 6, all the items 35 through 41, and page 7, all the items 42 through 47. Is there anyone here who would like to make a comment about any of those items or ask for any of those items to be pulled for separate consideration?
Item 37, again.
37. Would you're asking it to be pulled for separate consideration? You want to make a comment?
Yeah.
No. It's an either or. Would you like to make a comment about it, or do you want to have it?
I'd like to comment on it.
Okay, go right ahead. Thank you.
Just every month, you have an ongoing resolution regarding the tree mortality. And I have said I think that banning steel bullets, which are ignition source, would be appropriate. And as kind of way to ease it through would be to have muzzleloader hunts with primitive, which the bullets don't carry far. And some counties ban rifles and allow shotguns, and this would give them another thing. Be nice, I thought. However, I find out there's a few forests that have banned recreational shooting, Los Padres, which we have a piece of, and they already have muzzleloader hunts. And this is from Pennsylvania, is where I get the idea. And there's a few more, and there's a county to the south of us, which is banning everything. It's San Diego County. And they're banned all bullets on public land. And they're having an argument with the gun rights people, one of them, and it seems that it's not to do with fires, it has to do with the people out there are a little worried in that county about, well, the Second Amendment has to do with well-regulated militias. And apparently down there they're having the totally unregulated, self-styled border militias. So that seems to be an issue down there. I don't think it's going to be, it would be an issue to ban steel bullets. They seem to be bothered with the other, wrapped up with the other stuff. And the Fish and Game Department says they're not even they would like this to kill pigs. They would like to see more pigs killed because they are destructive of habitat and they spread disease. In the lettuce fields, they've had to recall because of salmonella. So that's where we're at, and I think the fire chief might have some good news for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other people here that would like to request to have any items pulled for separate consideration or make a comment about any of these items? Seeing none, I'll return to the board and request a motion on the consent calendar, or ask if there's any board members who would like to remove any items for separate consideration.
Motion on consent.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Thank you. That takes us back to the resolutions and proclamations portion of the meeting, which starts on page 2. And I'm going to use the chair's prerogative because we have some young ladies here from McFarland High School that I think are dying to get back to school. So I'm gonna ask that we hear item 7 out of order, and then we'll go back to item 4. This doesn't require a motion, but it's a certificate of recognition that I'd like to present honoring the McFarland High School women's basketball team for an outstanding season. I'm going to say this first so I don't butcher it. I'm going to turn this over to Coach Samaniego as soon as I make a couple of comments. We've had some sports teams, local sports teams, high school teams in lately because they've had a lot of success. And these young ladies did something that had never been done before in McFarland. So we wanted to recognize that for them. We're going to give them a chance to speak. I told them a minute to a minute and a half apiece. Right, girls? You were all prepared? No? Okay. That's okay. We'll turn it over to the coach here in a second. But we wanted to, we presented them with a certificate at the McFarland City Council meeting and with individual certificates, but I wanted to give them an opportunity to come down to our board meeting so we could do the same for them that we've done for some other teams here recently. I'll read the certificate of recognition. I'll turn it over to Coach, and he can make some comments about his team, and you can tell us whatever you'd like to. Second in the state is what you guys, and first time ever?
First time ever in school history.
Cool. So I'm going to read this, and I'll present it to the coach and Coach Johnny Samaniego, and he'll make some comments. It's presented to the McFarland High School women's basketball team. It's in recognition and congratulations on an outstanding season, highlighted by the team's first ever appearance in the CIF Division III State Championship Finals. And for exemplary public service and civic contributions to the community in Kern County, Coach is assigned by all the members of the Board of Supervisors that's dated today, April the 9th. And we just want to let you know that we are proud of McFarland. It's not just a cross-country team anymore, is it? So I want to give you a chance to, I want to present this to you and give you a chance to tell us how great your girls are. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Board members, thank you very much. Thank you for the recognition. This is special. The girls behind me, they worked hard, and like Chairman Couch had said, it was a cross-country. It's been a cross-country little town, and I myself was part of the '87 state championship team, and it's great to see the hard work that these girls have put in. And we have a few girls that their parents ran, and so like Chairman Couch had mentioned, we got second. Our goal in the beginning of the season, we'll try to make it, see when the 2 minutes goes off so I can have 2 minutes. And so we started off the season with a goal in mind, and first practice was told the girls we needed to be either the 1 or 2 seed in Valley in order to make a run at Valley. We weren't let alone thinking about state, but Valley. It's been in 1983 was the first and only Valley title that the McFarland girls had ever had. So that was our goal. That's been our goal. It's been coaching them for 13 years. That's been one of our goals. And so they flipped us from ESL to SSL league, and so everybody kept saying they're bigger schools, but we kept thinking, you know what, it'll prepare us for the playoffs. And sure enough, we ended up going undefeated in SSL, and that paved the way. We ended up being the number 2 seed next to San Juan Community Memorial, so that was all coming into play. And I kept calling it the season that God was authoring, or God had authored the season. And we were the 2nd seed. We went all the way through the Valley playoffs. We ended up playing San Juan Community Memorial at the Sullivan Arena in Fresno, and we came up short there. And so we decided, or it was known that we were going to get a berth at the state playoff. So we thought we were going to go Division 5. Previous years, Sierra Pacific was given that they were granted the Division 5 to move down. Well, we thought we were Division 5. We looked at the rankings or the seeds the following Sunday morning, and we didn't see our names in D5. So we decided, you know what, they probably put us in D4. And we saw D4, and we weren't in D4. So then I told my assistant coach, you know what, we didn't even get invited. You know, no respect, we didn't get invited. And then someone had called us up that we were the number 1 seed in the southern section, D3. So they bumped us up to D3. So our first reaction was, wow, you know what, okay, we're going to have to defend the M. Some of the girls have the shirts defend the M, and that's what we try to do. And all season long, we were undefeated at home. Regardless of who we played, we stayed undefeated, and that was defending the M. And so we ended up, by the grace of God, we ended up going to the state tournament, and we ended up playing Oakland High School. So you got a little small McFarland playing in Oakland School in D3, and they played their hearts out. They had a great season, and we ended up getting 2nd place. And some of these girls are going to go on locally to play at your BC, at COS, some of our colleges here. And not just these girls recognized or they represented McFarland, but they represented Kern County very well. And we thank you for that recognition, and God bless you guys. A group picture.
Go down or what?
Okay. Oh, yeah, let them see you. Thank you. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
I want to thank them for making the trip down here today. We appreciate that. That takes us back to item 4, which is a proclamation to proclaim April 9, 2019 as Donate Life Awareness Month in Kern County, and this proclamation will be presented by Supervisor Scribner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Motion on proclamation.
Second.
Motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Well, good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Every year in April, the importance of organ donation is made to all Americans by the efforts of national and local organizations. Here in Kern County, JJ's Legacy, a chapter of the larger One Legacy organization, will be participating in a Donate Life California-run Walk Family Festival. First held in 2003, Donate Life Awareness Month features an entire month of local regional, and national activities to help encourage Americans to register as organ, eye, and tissue donors, and to celebrate those who have saved lives through the gift of donation. During this month, these local nonprofit organizations ask that you consider your role in this life-saving and healing journey, and how you can inspire others to provide hope through donor registration and living donations. So at this time, it's my honor to present two proclamations. One is to Lori Malkin of JJ's Legacy, our local organization, and Lucindy Ramirez of One Legacy. And so I'd like to read one of these proclamations now. The Board of Supervisors of the County of Kern, State of California, has officially proclaimed April 2019 as Donate Life Awareness Month in Kern County, and this recognition has been entered into our official minutes and signed by our Honorable Chairman, David Couch. And so who would be first? Lucindy, come on up.
Thank you. Very well said. That was half my speech, but thank you so. No, it's fantastic. I would like to say that just in the past year in Kern County alone, I represent One Legacy, and we are the stewards of the donation process here in Kern County. And just in the past year alone, 4,875 lives have been healed through donation from Kern County residents, and 91 lives have been saved through organ donation from Kern County in just the past year alone. I sincerely thank you and your constituents for supporting Donate Life Month. And you know, I can stand up here all day long telling you stats about this and that, but truly the connection that we have, I really want to emphasize Lori from JJ's Legacy. I want you to just pay attention for just a few minutes to hear her story. And then again, we have two other very, very special people here, and I won't ruin the surprise, and just they'll tell their story very briefly. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I didn't even notice you there. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Good morning. My name's Lori Malkin, and thank you, Lucindy, for coming. Yes. And thank you, Mr. Shriver, for our proclamation and for the board. My name's Lori Malkin, as I said, and it was March 1st of 2009 when my son, Jeffrey Johns, passed away, and he did give the gift of life. He saved 5 individuals through organ donation, and he enhanced over 50 lives through tissue, and he gave sight to 2 nearly blind individuals through cornea donation. So, thank you. So it became my passion to educate our community about the need and the importance, and it's such a critical need to be a registered donor, because Jeff at age 27 was not registered, and so his dad and I made that decision for him to give the gift of life, although he would have said yes in a heartbeat. But we really wanted to educate the community about being a registered donor and what does it need. And so this is where I am right now with JJ's Legacy, where our main mission is to educate our community. And I'd like to take a minute to introduce Justin Salters, who is our Vice President of JJ's Legacy Board, and he'd like to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori, and thank you again for the proclamation. As it's my honor that I get to serve with a group of individuals who get to help Lori in turning the Johns and Malkin's family's tragedy into something that's provided a lot of hope and opportunity for our community. And this year was the 10-year anniversary of JJ's passing, and I just think it's absolutely incredible, and she is a phenomenal individual for what she's accomplished in this period. Like we've talked about with organ and tissue transplant and donation, a lot of folks support it. In fact, more than 90% of Americans say that they support and are behind organ, eye, and tissue donation. But just about 50% of people have actually registered. So as Lori indicated, one of the major things that we work on at JJ's Legacy is educating the public and getting people to take that step to get the pink dot to join the Donate Life registry list here in California. And to that end, we just want to encourage everyone. We've started a project called Got the Dot. You can visit a website, gotthedot.com, where it has information about organ tissue transplanting. It's available in both English and a Spanish version so that all of our community, or much of our community, can go ahead and have it in their primary language. And on that website, there's actually a direct form that you can go ahead and take that step to make sure that you are registered to give the gift of life. Only 3 in 1,000 people pass away in a way that allows them to be a donor, so it really is about all of us doing our part so that we can save and enhance lives. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to introduce Mr. Pruitt.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here. I'm a local resident. Lived here in Kern County since 1965. I'm a liver recipient. Almost 1,700 days ago, I received the liver of a 19-year-old young man who died from injuries he received in a motorcycle accident. Because of the work of people like my associates at One Legacy, recovering organs and distributing them, I was able to receive a liver and go on with my life. My liver disease started when I was in my late teens, around 20 years old, when I was in the Army during the Vietnam conflict. I acquired a virus while I was serving that over the course of 40-some years, slowly ate away at my liver until it caused it to fail and caused me to have liver cancer. And the only way to recover from that was by receiving a transplant. And it's through the work of people like One Legacy and JJ's Legacy and other groups that, and not to mention the hospitals that took care of me, that I was able to receive this remarkable gift. It's because of that that I'm here speaking to you guys today. I take every opportunity I can to do this as a way of paying forward my good fortune and trying to have someone else have the same result that I had. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here today. Thank you for your service to our country also.
And lastly, I would just like to point out Jennifer here. She works with One Legacy, and the whole reason that she works with us and she's an employee is because her daughter received a double lung transplant when she was 15, and now she's, correct me if I'm wrong, 25. 25. So again, these are all local Kern County residents, and again, we thank you so much for your support.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being here today. Next is item 5. It is a proclamation proclaiming April 8th through the 12th, 2019 as Adult Education Week in Kern County, and it will be presented by Supervisor Maggard.
Motion to approve.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Good morning, colleagues. We are here today to proclaim April 8 through 12 as 2019 as Adult Education Week in Kern County. I'm joined by Jody Loeffler and by Chad Provençal, who are with the Bakersfield Adult School. Adult Education Week is observed by the state of California in recognition of groups such as the Bakersfield Adult School in their service of changing the economic and cultural needs of a vigorous and expanding economy. In 2018, Bakersfield Adult School's program helped 391 students complete career technical education, successfully enrolled 128 students to either Bakersfield College or Taft College, and graduated 13 adults in the vocational nursing program. Also in 2018, Bakersfield Adult School transitioned 606 English language learners from English as a second language to the next level of ESL. And they passed 232 students through the basic adult education program to higher levels of education or in the GED high school diploma program. Finally, in 2018, 77 adults in the Lerdo Detention Facility completed court-appointed, court-ordered parenting and neglect classes in order to reunite with their families. You guys provide a very valuable service to our community. So, Jody and Chad, can you guys both come up, and I'll read this to both of you guys.
Teresa here too.
Oh, hi, Teresa. How are you?
Yeah, she's a great supporter.
Teresa is kind of a miraculous person in the county.
Really
She does all
is.
kinds of things. So, Okay, so this is a proclamation from the Board of Supervisors of the County of Kern on behalf of the state of California. We have officially proclaimed April 8 through 12, 2019 as Adult Education Week in Kern County. And this recognition has been entered into our minutes by the signature of our Honorable Chairman David Couch on this is the 9th day of April 2019. Thank you for what you guys do.
Thank you so much.
Can you give us a couple more words of what's up?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'm Jody Leffler, and I have our assistant principal, Chad Provençal, with me, and Teresa Hitchcock. Much of what we do wouldn't be possible without your support. We are at Lerdo. We have our jail education program. Our VN students are in the county hospital learning their clinical hours, and we're also, excuse me, located in Cafe 1600. If you haven't visited the AJCC lately, you haven't been to our cafe, I encourage you to go. We serve the hardest to serve students. We try to provide them skills so that they can get out of the halfway house that they live in or whatever program they're in and into work and into society. And we can't do that without the county and Department of Human Services. It takes all of us. Our most recent program that you approved in the fall is our Recycling Lives. We'll be working with the AB 109ers. We're right now securing our building, and we've got our teacher on staff. We're building that program. We hope to have it in the fall. So I hope when I come back to you next spring, we can report out on some accomplishments there with student outcomes. So appreciate your support.
I'm Teresa Hitchcock with the County Administrative Office, and I really want to emphasize that the work that the Bakersfield Adult School is doing is miraculous. They really are changing people's lives for the better. They're providing those education and skill opportunities so that these folks can become self-sustaining and have meaningful work. So thank you, Jody, and I know Mark would have wanted to be here, but you guys are doing fantastic work, and I really appreciate all of your efforts.
There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you again.
Thank you for being here. Next item is item 6. It is a proclamation proclaiming April 14th through the 20th, 2019 as Public Safety Telecommunications Week in Kern County, and it will be presented by Supervisor Gleason.
Motion on proclamation.
You have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
Motion is approved. All ayes.
Wow, we got the whole crew here. Great opportunity to recognize a critical function that a link in the chain of command of decision-making that has direct impact into our lives as a community and the health and well-being of our lives and property throughout Kern County. I want to take the moment to thank everybody for being here and playing this playing a role in this critical function that we perform. So we've been asked to proclaim, and we have proclaimed, the Board of Supervisors, April 14th, April 20th, 2019, as Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in Kern County, and I have it signed by our Honorable Chairman, Chairman Couch. Telecommunicators Week is designated at a time when citizens can thank public safety men and women who respond to emergency calls and dispatch emergency professionals and equipment in time of crisis. These individuals answer calls for help from 911 for police, fire, sheriff, EMS, and function as a critical link for prompt response of police officers, deputy sheriffs, firefighters, emergency medical technicians, and paramedics in the field. Kern County Fire Department's Emergency Communications Center, the ECC, is responsible for receiving and dispatching all fire, medical, and rescue calls within 8,000 square miles. A formidable task, and fortunately we have manned the rails with some outstanding people, and they're here to receive our gratitude for the work they do. I have Interim Chief Dave, you're here? Yes. I'm going to pass this off to you, Dave. I'm going to thank you very much for all you do for leading this team and the sheriff, and what a great team. They look fantastic, and thank you very much for what you do.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Honorable Chairman and Supervisors, thank you for this opportunity to recognize our fine dispatchers, and I thank you for the support for them and what they're doing. We look into this further, 413,000 calls. You think about that, 413,000 times our dispatchers have answered phones and brought calm to chaos when they answer the phone. It's the worst day of somebody's life, and they're our true front line of defense. And they take that information and they filter it and they give good information to our people, our sheriff's department, our fire department, city, county, and get the right equipment responding to the right place. And meanwhile, they're talking to the person on the phone and they're working them through their crisis, and they're calming them down and reassuring them that things are going to be okay. And I can't stress enough how important our dispatchers are to the whole process of alleviating that emergency. And so with that, we just say thank you. I'm proud of them, and we thank them every day. And my deputy chief, Steve Shoemaker, who's in charge of ECC, would like to say a couple words now.
Good morning.
Morning.
April 14th is National Telecommunications Week. We already kind of talked about that. The men and women of the Kern County Fire Department, the Bakersfield City Fire Department, as well as the sheriff's dispatchers, they're on the job all night, all day. Our dispatchers are our first contact with the public, and they are a lifeline during the initial call for help. Our dispatchers will talk a husband on how to deliver CPR. They will guide a family out of a burning house. They will give important instructions on how to deliver a baby or how to stop bleeding from a stab wound. Our dispatchers will hear the screaming of a loved one that is watching a relative that has passed away. If you can think of it, our dispatchers have heard just about anything you can imagine. I can't imagine that either. They are truly the unsung heroes that are often too forgotten. As we celebrate this week for our dispatchers, please keep them in mind. While we are sleeping, you can rest assured that if you need help, our dispatcher will answer your call. Thanks.
Morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Behind me, you see the stars of our organization. They truly are the unsung heroes of our department. Every night, they receive calls from people that are reporting very excitedly the most heinous crimes that you can imagine, and they deal with it very calmly. But they also are the backup for the officers on the street. I can distinctly remember cases in my career, one in particular where I was chasing someone with a gun through a neighborhood, and I'm screaming in the radio, trying to let them know where I'm at, and they're very calmly answering my calls. And I thought, somebody should just get excited here, you know, because I am. But they have the ability to maintain that calm. And, you know, if you can imagine receiving a call of a baby not breathing, and these people walk them through CPR, and they have numerous saves of those type of lives, and they really are the unsung heroes. I appreciate you honoring them today. I appreciate them a great deal, and thank you very much.
Squish in, and we're going to get some pictures taken. So if we can do 2 layers of people, just come on in. And
short people in front.
That means you. Come on in, yeah, come on. We got to go get a nice, cozy little picture. We're all buddy here.
Everybody make sure you can see me here.
Oh, we're over here.
Where we go? Now look over there.
Outstanding. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. Thanks for all you do. Really do appreciate it.
I'm always hesitant to speak for the board, but I know that we all recognize how difficult a job you all do, and we all appreciate it greatly. Thank you very much.
Hey, Dave.
Chief.
I believe that takes us to public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons to address the board on any matter that is not on the agenda but is under the jurisdiction of the board. Is there anyone here who would like to make a public presentation? We ask that you state your name and proceed. And we try to observe a 2-minute time limit. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman Couch. My name is David Abbasi with Central Valley Citizens for Responsible Government. Yesterday, we staged a protest and had a news conference in regards to the Kern corruption and regards to the stay motion that was recently filed in federal court to stop the county from shutting down dispensaries. In that, there was a declaration revealing that another dispensary group had paid $70,000 to Lorelei Oviatt, the planning director, in order to stay open since 2010. And we find that there is, in fact, these meetings occurring. We confirmed that meetings had occurred between Supervisor Maggard and cannabis advocate to promote his 6th dispensary ordinance that he came up with December 5th, 2017. That there were other meetings confirmed by Heather Epps, Chad Garcia, and David Brust regarding the same ordinance a year later, and that the ban was in fact just an excuse to get rid of competition to create a monopoly for a few dispensaries or a few permits. We find that there is in fact a history of cronyism, protection, malicious prosecution, and public corruption schemes, from everything from oil permits to the PACE program, where the same lobbyists admitted to securing the votes in the city and county beforehand in violation of the Brown Act and getting the $25,000 grant. Any monopoly ordinance, or any ordinance for that matter, that you guys put forward would be illegal, and it would be swiftly challenged in court with a fresh new challenge, because the referendum in 2011 prevents you from coming up with your own ordinance pertaining to medical cannabis. And we will also be filing a complaint with the grand jury to investigate and weed out the corruption and the corrupt officials in Kern County government. Thank you.
Are there any other public speakers this morning? Yes, sir. Sorry, yes. My eyesight is not very good. I apologize for that.
That's okay. It's been a while since I've been here.
Yes, ma'am.
I understand. Good morning, Chairman Couch and members of the Board of Supervisors. I'm here to discuss the continuing problem of the Human Relations Commission not meeting as it's supposed to once a month to address. According to the Kern County website, the Human Relations Commission, established in 1990, has a purpose to study, evaluate, recommend to the Board of Supervisors plans and programs to eliminate prejudice and discrimination, as well as to promote and safeguard the equal rights of and respect for all people within Kern County in the areas of employment, education, and social and economic justice. And this is a very important bit as well, and to serve as the Kern County Equal Opportunity Program Advisory Body. I've been coming for over 2 years now, on and off, to address this body about the failure of the Human Relations Commission to meet as it's supposed to. Each year, the number of meetings has gone down, so my efforts are having the opposite effect, but I will still continue to raise the issue because I am still hopeful that something will happen. At this point, I see 3 choices before the board. One is to let things continue as they are, which means that in the last calendar year, the commission met twice, once with a quorum, and I believe once without a quorum. So far this year, with 1/3 of the meeting dates having passed, there have been no meetings, so we're on track. The second option is to just declare that there is no need to address any of these issues, and we're going to suspend this body, which I also hope is not going to be what happens. The third option is to actually try to take some action and figure out some solutions. Is it that the meeting is at a time when people aren't available? Let's change the time. Is it that the numbers are unwieldy? Let's change the number on the board. Is it the location? Let's use technology and allow people to call in or do via video conference. Let's try and find a solution to this. There are issues in this community that need to be addressed by this body, and for over 2 years now, absolutely nothing has happened.
Thank you. Any other public speakers this morning? Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman Couch and members of the board. My name is Diane Byrne, and I'm here this morning to thank you from the bottom of my heart and also from the other hearts in Kern County that are families of victims of homicide and missing persons. Your generous donation is sincerely appreciated, and it comes from the bottom of our hearts. You have all shown us in Kern County a measure of hope, and for that we are all truly grateful. I have brought you a band from the Bakersfield Mothers of Three. Today is the victims, actually the District Attorney's 7th annual Victims' Rights March, and I encourage you to band with us and join us today. And again, thank you. You have helped families, and you've also helped our homicide detectives in Kern County help them with a tool to connect the dots and for swifter case resolution. And just thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Byrne. Any other public speakers this morning? Seeing none, the next item is board member announcements and reports. Supervisor Perez.
Thank you. If I could say to the moms who have brought such an incredible issue to the attention of this board and have given us an opportunity to engage your struggle and broaden it. I've been so impressed with how many other parents you are helping from all corners of this community in your quest for justice and for some meaning in the remarkable tragedies that you have faced. And so, Chairman, I would ask you to please, with your indulgence, if we could adjourn today in honor of the Bakersfield 3. I know we're not quite there yet, but we'll soon be. And I've removed my coat today to show my shirt, show the shirt I have here in solidarity with these mothers and many families who are looking for answers and, as you said, need tools to help them connect the dots. So really my profound thank you to this board for supporting these mothers. And I would ask that we adjourn in their honor and their incredibly righteous fight that they are engaged in. I will be joining you today in your march. So hats off to you, moms, and to this board for supporting them.
Would you like to adjourn this afternoon in their honor or adjourn our morning session?
This morning.
Okay.
Thank you.
Supervisor Gleason.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to have I was up at Kern, River Valley, having a town hall meeting last week, 2 weeks ago, and it was apparent to me that one of the leading issues in the Kern River Valley is our code compliance issue. And I was confident in the fact that our code compliance division is completing the tasks assigned to them by our ordinance, and they're doing a fair job of that, as good as they can. Spending is a lot of money, but I'm not so sure that the problem is being solved. And so, and I don't know that it is solvable, but what I would like to do is I would like to have our ordinance pulled out of the stack, get them, blow some dust off it, and let's look at it, let's examine what our ordinance is, and make sure that it is what this board is looking forward to doing to solve the problems that are plagued throughout our entire county. So my reference is to let's get a group together, let's pull out the ordinance, let's review it, let's bring it back and make sure it's what we want to do, and then let's do it as best we can. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Supervisor Gleason. Seeing no other requests, I'll ask Supervisor Perez if she'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I would. Thank you so much,
Sure.
Chairman, for your indulgence. In honor of these mothers and the many mothers who are still looking for answers, I'd ask that we adjourn today and make a motion to adjourn in favor of or in honor of the Bakersfield 3 and the many, many others still looking for some peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Without objection, we are adjourned.